Subtitles for this graduation ceremony are available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/UCLan video.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University of Central Lancashire, I'm delighted to warmly welcome you to this graduation ceremony. On this special day, we are here to proudly celebrate the achievements of our students. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Liz Bromley, to give her address.
Eminent guests, graduands and families, colleagues and friends of UCLan, good afternoon and welcome to this graduation ceremony and the celebrations that will begin for you all today here. Graduands, well done. You have done it. And very soon you will have a piece of paper to prove that you really have done it. Once you get to be as old as I am, you worry about forgetting things. But rest assured, one thing you will never forget is this special day. It's special because today we are all creating a little bit of history, as this is the first time in 39 years that we have held our graduation ceremonies on the campus. We decided to relocate the ceremonies to the university when the Guildhall's future became uncertain, because one thing that could not be uncertain was your graduation today. So I hope that what we have done to bring graduation home to the campus will ensure that you and your families and friends have a real day of celebration to remember. We all wanted to give you the best possible send-off, because to get to where you are today has been a real test of your stamina and your determination to succeed. And you have demonstrated dedication and commitment every step of the way, working tirelessly to get to this important stage of your life's journey. This university, your university, is absolutely committed to ensuring that all our students have the relevant learning, knowledge, skills and experiences to thrive once they leave the university, wherever you come from, wherever you go to next. What potential you all have for the future. David Bowie once said that tomorrow belongs to those who have seen it coming. So now it's time for you to think about your tomorrows, which will be all the brighter for having achieved your qualifications here at UCLan. I hope that you have made the most of every moment of your time here. But don't rush through today. Enjoy every last minute of it. Share special moments with your friends from here and from home, and with your families who've been on this journey of learning with you. In 40 years' time, you will look back in wonder at the photographs, the fashions, the haircuts, and at the young faces in the pictures, and you will again remember this very special day. Judy Garland, who you probably know as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, said, "Always be a first-rate version of yourself instead of a second-rate version of somebody else." So whatever your background, wherever you've come from, be proud of who you are, be proud of what you have achieved, and be proud of where you go next as a first-rate graduate and a global citizen. And so we come to the bit quite soon that you've all been waiting for, the moment that you will cherish and enjoy as you walk across the stage when your name is called as a graduand, but you leave the stage as a graduate of the university. It's taken a lot of hard work to get you to this point, but remember, you have also been a lot of hard work. For those who have supported you throughout your studies, hard work for those who have given you food and sent you money, and given you the strength to carry on to this point. So before all the clapping starts for you, shall we have a round of applause for all those special people who are celebrating here with you today? Now, don't worry, almost all the rest of the applause is just for you. And once you get your degree and you start life as one of our alumni, Do keep in touch with us as you go into your future lives, because you will always be part of the UCLan family. And so for the next half hour or so, be sure to clap and cheer and make this a day for everybody to remember. Congratulations.
Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, the University Board confers an honorary fellowship on Kim Hawes. Chancellor, the Brit Awards has had its fair share of memorable moments. Some of you may even recall when in 1998, a member of the band Chumbawamba threw a bucket of ice over the then Deputy Prime Minister, John Prescott. It was the no-nonsense reputation for working with similar notorious bands which resulted in Kim Hawes being brought in to work with Chumbawamba as a troubleshooter that night, with instructions to be non-apologetic about the ice bucket incident. She is known for saying that her career began sleeping under Lemmy from Motorhead. And if it wasn't for the time spent with the band, she wouldn't have gained the experience of dealing with such creative artists. Of course, she was sleeping in a bunk on a tour bus that just happened to be under Lemmy's. Kim, who grew up in Hesketh Bank, just 10 miles from the university, started her career in Preston Guildhall in February 1979 as a merchandiser, selling T-shirts, programmes and badges. Because of her willingness to learn, she became a tour accountant. Then, because of her experience of touring, became the first female tour manager in the world and was headhunted to work for bands in the USA. Kim has worked with artists such as the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, Madonna, Motorhead, Black Sabbath and Robbie Williams, to name just a few, in a career spanning over 3 decades. It's no surprise that she is releasing a memoir, Telling Tales, Confessions of a Female Tour Manager, an account of life on the road, with plans to tour with the book in a bid to encourage more women to consider a career in the music industry. A real trailblazer, Kim is imparting her knowledge and experience to UCLan students through a series of guest lectures, in addition to contributing to course delivery whilst working with our music business and creative industries team to develop a new curriculum, including new ways of shadowing a tour manager, an initiative that does not exist on any other course in the UK. Chancellor, on behalf of the University Board, it is with great pleasure that I present Kim Hawes for the award of Honorary Fellow of the University of Central Lancashire. I would now like to invite Kim Hawes to respond to the citation.
Chancellor, honoured guests, new graduates, families and friends, I would like to thank the University of Central Lancashire as this is such an honour for me. I would like to thank a couple of people especially, John Lacey, Joe Hilditch, Ron Atkinson, and Danny Waring, for putting my name forward for this prestigious award. I'd also like to thank two people that aren't here today, Doug Smith and Eve Carr, for giving a 19-year-old a chance and an opportunity. Thank you so much. When I walked through a backstage door at Preston Guildhall in February 1979, I had no idea that it was to start a career that was back then unthinkable for women. That I would break down barriers for women of the future, let alone did I ever think I would be honoured for the privilege of what I can only say for me was one of the best jobs in the world. My advice to all you graduates today is now your journey begins. Take your dream and make it a reality. Break down barriers and prove the masses wrong. You'll need courage and determination, but just be the best you can be and take pride in shaping the future. It can be a long road full of frustrations, but a road that, like mine, was worth travelling. My career has taken me from Hesketh Bank, like I said, just down the road, to travelling the world, from selling T-shirts to a tour manager, and even further to troubleshoot when things were going wrong for artists and bands and record companies alike. I think there's a new word for that now, and they call that crisis management. I'm now a life coach, educator and author, and like was said before, I've just written my memoirs, and with the title, tongue-in-cheek, named the book Confessions of a Female Tour Manager. Like was also said, I introduced myself as sleeping under Lemmy, and it does certainly turn heads, and in some circumstances it conjures up images in other people's heads, but I can assure you it was under the bunk underneath. And it was through them that I've learned everything that I know today. If you want to know more, and you want to read my story, you can pledge for it on Unbound. There's my plug for today. But if you just want to talk to me or ask advice in the future, all you have to do is get in touch and mention that you were here today, and I'll give you special priority. My mum, who I wish was here today to see this, I loved her so much. And as a school teacher from Tarleton High School, she brought me up on her own and then allowed me to go off to work on tour. She had to put up with the ridicule of people saying, "So your daughter has run off with a rock band." But she trusted me, and well, that daughter didn't do too bad. And I think those people can now eat their words. Thank you once again for recognizing my achievements as a pioneer for women within the music industry. Thank you.
Chancellor, the presentation of graduands and award holders will now take place.
Chancellor, on behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who have gained awards in the School of Forensic and Applied Sciences for a thesis entitled Regional Effects of Diabetes Mellitus on the Heart, Shortening and Calcium Transport in Epicardial and Endocardial Ventricular Myocite. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to Manal Smale. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Policing and Criminal Investigation, Corbin Ellis Abbots. Olivia Jane Addy. Taiba Akhtar. Bruce Alsop Lewis. Terry-Ann Ashfield. Dina Ashford. Kaylee Bacon. Shannon Louise Barnett. Anna Bodie. Holly Bond. Laura Brearley. Shona Laura Burke. Matthew James Kane. With the University Prize, Joseph Carter. Harry Clark. Lucy Clough. Bradley Vincent Kakoza. Adam Cooper. Georgia Naomi Curley. Adam Mark Kerwin. Jane Darcy. Maeve Elizabeth Deary. Annabelle Lucy Dobney. Edward Dorrington. Olivia Draycott. Matthew Lewis Duckworth. Megan Elizabeth Eccles. Joshua Farrington. Chantel Fidmont.
Matthew Edward Finley. Thomas Dean Fox. Louise Geiger. Hannah Gosling. William Gradwell. Richard Greatrix. Joshua Green. Katie Lee Greenwood. Jake Guest. Ria Cara Hanley. Alice Hewson. Matthew Holmes. Kira Ann Fian Hope Baines. Noah James Igo. Georgia Lee Ingle. Dean Iverson. Joel Jackson. Wesley Jackson. Katie Jacques. David Frederick Jones. Jason Joyce. Rachel Louise Kay. Tanya Kelly. Alice Kinsella. Rebecca Kirkby. Caitlin Sarah Kitchener. Sheila May Little. Hannah Lourdes Line. Jacob Mangum. Wendy Marsh. Daniel Martin. Matthew Mason. Jordan McComb. Jake Thomas McLaughlin. James Murray. Victoria Moss. Daniel Neve. Liam Nobbs. Mark Ogden. Rumana Patel. Francis Phillips. Aaron Rawlinson White. Samantha Reeder. Morgan Roberts. Carlos Santos Fonseca. Sao Sang Yang. Alison Mary Sellers. John Joseph Sr. Lauren Crystal Leah Smith. Brandon Stott. Chloe Teachin. Jennifer Mary Thelwall. Alison Walker. Aidan Francis Welch. Jake Dylan Westaway. Harry Wilcox. Bachelor of Science in Policing and Criminal Investigation, Amy Victoria Hadley. Alex Theodore. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Forensic and Applied Sciences.
Chancellor, on behalf of the Academic Board, I present those who've gained awards in the School of Journalism, Media and Performance. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Games Design, Christopher Atkinson. Aidan Richard Coxon. Eli Clifford de Carteret. Laura Helen Flinders. Willow Foran Pearson. Robin Goodall. Alan Horton. Sean Kenner. Thomas Kennedy. Jia Quan Liu. Cameron Ian Luke Mallon. Jonathan Massey. Thomas James Richard Roberts. Samuel Rogers. Andrew James Speed. Luke Summers. Freddie Taylor Bell. Samuel Thorpe. Joseph Westwell. Christy John Williams. Catherine Elizabeth Sarah Edith Wiltshire. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Music Production, Croy Bent. Stephen Blackburn. Henry Burke. Malachi Doyley Williams. Alfred Elvis George Eastwick. Thomas Andrew Fairfield. Luke Ferguson. Matthew Graham. Thomas Hines. Alexander William Milne. David Olatunji. Daniel Riley. James Smith. Bachelor of Science with honours in Studio and Live Music Production, Thomas Joseph Ashby. Sullivan Bennett. Miles Cooper. Sophie Leanne Hagan. Rachel Howden. Joshua Polhill. Sinead Marie Power. Brandon Smith Warner. Zach Taylor. Alexander Terry. Oliver Lloyd Williamson. Bachelor of Science with honours in Audio Engineering and Production, Gaiber Aziz. Joshua Harper. Bryn Harry Wynne Howells. Timothy James Elliott Johnson. Joel Ledesma. Leon Pythian. Matthew Watson. Bachelor of Arts with honours in Digital Animation with Illustration, Braulio dos Santos. Kirsty Elizabeth Eaton. Rhiannon Karen Louise Key. Emilia Kivilati. Dean Lowe. Caleb Beck Riley. Bachelor of Science with honours in Music Business and Creative Industries, Mike Lee. Daniel Lewins. Neil Simpson. Zoe Amelia Snelling. Bachelor of Arts with honours in Visual Effects, Matthew George Baker. Dean Bryan. Rebecca Fidders. Callum Friars. Joseph Laycock. Adam Andreas Louis Ledger. Samuel Ridgway. Mark Rouse. Callum Stewart Siddall. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Electronic Music and DJ Practice, Alex James Al-Chalabi. Lewis David Bennett. Jacob Thomas Pip Bradley. Samuel Broughton. Mary Binchkiartis. Jose Santiago Galvez Santos. Joshua Humphreys. Daniel Jones. Kasper Kaczynski. Callum Martinez. Joe Henry Morris. Faria Rashidi. Matthew Scott Robinson. Osonwa James Ubawuchi. Adam Whitty. Zach Wilkinson. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Post-Production for Film and Television, Michael Crossley. Abigail Horder. Amir Matani. Thomas Smallwood. Dorian Simansky. Lauren Georgia Wenham. Bachelor of Science with Honours in 3D Film Production, Leah Kuzneskak. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Game and Interactive Audio, Thomas Bennett. Joseph Jeffrey Fowles. Adam Whitehead. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Game Art, Ryan Ashfield. Ailslyn Hong. Alex Latham. Cameron Mackey. Jake Morgan-Jones. Jasmine Hope Strethfield. Nathan Ward. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Independent Filmmaking, Kieran Clancy. Hannah Cottrell. Jack Alexander Dale. James Fletcher. Patricia Monica Faulknowitz. Scott Grundy. Nathan Andrew Hurst. John Clark Johnson. Jake Lomas. Michael Mazvizvi. Chloe Lucy Jane Moles. Megan Powell. Torchio Roccia Creti. Lance Rowlinson. Jack Vale. Diploma in Higher Education in 3D Film Production, Amy Shearer. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Music Production, Alexander Black. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Policing and Criminal Investigation, Humna Sarah Asif. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Electronic Music and DJ Practice, Ted Skoltok. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Studio and Live Music Production, Guy Edward Watson. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Journalism, Media and Performance.
Chancellor, the presentations are completed. I now call on Sophie O'Neill, Vice President Activities from the Students' Union of the University of Central Lancashire, to respond on behalf of those awarded today.
Chancellor, honorary guests, excited graduates, proud family and supportive friends. My name is Sophie O'Neill and I'm the Vice President of Activities here at UCLan. I'm so proud of everyone sat here today, and it is an honour to represent the students and speak on their behalf and to you all now. The reason you're all here for this speech means you've achieved something absolutely amazing. Not just a degree, but an experience, a journey, a huge learning curve. The time spent getting to this point was not just academic learning, it was time for personal growth and discovery, and we all gather now to celebrate your massive triumph and to share the excitement of what comes after your degree. Whether it's exploring the unknown, taking advantage of further opportunities, or taking that first step towards your dream job, you did this and no one can take that away from you. Moving to university, possibly ages away from home and living in halls, or possibly commuting each day, is nothing like anything else. You all put yourself out there and came to UCLan to open yourself up to higher education and opportunities. Whether you've been part of a sports club, a society, a course representative, or a volunteer, you put yourself out there and contributed positive change to yourself and the university. You also worked hard, like really hard. Regardless of what course or background, university has its ups and downs, its highlights and its struggles. Whether you're doing all-nighters for that project, or trying to keep up with classwork while on placement, working a job, or looking after a kid. But we cannot forget the good times. You've made friends with people that you would not have met otherwise, and together you've smiled, supported, laughed, and cried together. You will take moments like those with you as you continue your journey, and will have that bond for the rest of your life. However, the magic doesn't stop now. You've shown everyone here exactly what you can do, and there is no stopping your potential. Keep growing and loving and learning. Say yes to those opportunities and do not be afraid. As you walked across that stage, remember that moment. No one can take that moment away from you. On behalf of all the students here today, I'd like to say a massive thank you to both the university and the union staff for everything they've done. Your support has allowed all these people to pursue their dreams. I would also like to thank all the guests that have come here today. You've supported the next generation of teachers, engineers, entertainers, politicians, and have shaped the lives of these graduates, so thank you. Congratulations everyone, graduate class of 2019. I hope you have the most amazing celebration.
I now call upon the Chancellor, Ranveer Singh, to say a few words.
I should have worn my heels, I realise. A bit short for this. Hello, everyone. Well, congratulations to all of you. I feel quite jealous, as I'm sure many of us up here do. Sitting down there, you're starting on this amazing path in front of you, with all the trials and tribulations, all the massive successes that I know are in front of you. I was here. I did my postgraduate in broadcast journalism here, and it truly did set me on my path. And wherever you go, and I hope this is true for your courses, and I'm sure it is, that wherever I go, certainly, I am so proud to say that I had my foundation from this university, but also this city. It was a town when I was growing up here. But I just wanted to, if there's a couple of nuggets of wisdom from a 41-year-old that I can give you in your young age, at the beginning of your career, it is, as we all can, you look back and you think, what would I have done a little bit differently? I would have always trusted my instincts, which is a really hard thing to do when you're young and you go into a new workplace. There are people more experienced than you. There are people who are afraid of you because you are young and creative and you have new ideas and new ways of doing things, and that's not always welcome. But if I could go back, I would say to myself at your age, don't be afraid to speak up, because whilst other people in the room in that meeting may well have good ideas, you also have good ideas. And when you are employed because of you. They chose you for a reason, and don't forget that. In my first job, believe it or not, it was at BBC Radio Lancashire, which is in Blackburn, and I got a 6-month contract when I hadn't quite finished the course here, and I got offered this contract because of the work experience the university provided. And for the first 6 months of my professional career, in the morning meeting at 10 a.m, I didn't say a word for 6 months, not a single word. And the more time went on, the more awkward it became to say anything. And if I could go back, I would say to myself, why didn't you just speak up? Because it became such a millstone around my neck. And of course, I've never shut up since, as you can tell. But don't be afraid of your own instincts, your own ideas. Always remember to speak up in those big meetings, because you will be noticed, and don't worry about criticism, because that comes to all of us. But I would also just want to say to you, don't let anyone define what success means to you. People will always try to say, oh, you can't go for that, or are you experienced enough, or do you really want to move that far away, or do you really want to work those long hours, or it's antisocial hours, and whatever it may be. Whatever worries that other people may have, that may come from a good place, but don't let anyone define your success. The likelihood of me standing here as the Chancellor of this university is so remote, and yet it's happened. I had when I was growing up, we had our windows broken all the time. We suffered racism just down the road from here. My dad died when I was 9. We didn't speak English at home. We didn't have a car till I was 17. All of those things are things that life throws at you. I'm now a single mum. I've been a single mum for 7 years. And actually, life is very unpredictable. But all the way through, have that inner fire that you look after. And that is just yourself. Look after yourself. And make sure that you don't lose sight of your uniqueness, how special you are, and what you, in particular, just you, can offer to any workplace. Because wherever you go, you can make a mark. And if it doesn't work for you, move on. But I would just want to say to you, don't let anyone define your success, because you, right now, have everything in your hands. And I'm certain, with this university's backing, and we're all here for you whenever you want us again, that you will go so far and wear the badge of UCLan with pride, as I do. Congratulations, well done, and I look forward to seeing you as my bosses, perhaps, one day.
So today is, of course, a day of great celebration for everyone here, and we need to make sure that we celebrate in an appropriate way. Family and friends, there's a great photo opportunity coming up, so you might want to have your cameras at the ready. Could I please ask all the graduates to stand and take off your mortarboards? Now, I know this will be a great relief to some of you, as I've seen some of them balancing quite precariously on your heads. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to wave your mortarboard, and as is the tradition here at UCLan, you must wave as vigorously as you can in recognition of all your hard work and achievements. However, do keep a tight hold of your mortarboard, as it is now yours to keep and take home. So, on a count of 3, I want you all to wave your mortarboards in the air, and at the same time, I want everyone else to cheer 3 times. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thank you all for that. Now please be seated. So as we bring this ceremony to a close, I would like to thank everyone who's been involved in making today such a happy and memorable occasion. And thank you all for coming and for sharing this special day with the university community. The platform party will now leave the stage, and graduates, you will shortly be processing out of the hall. A university usher will prompt your row when you need to stand up. And please make sure you take all your belongings with you. Guests, please may I ask that you all remain seated until the students have left the hall. You will then be able to rejoin your graduates in the Foster building. Thank you.